So I try and shine a light on different products and services to help carers know what's out there.
Yeah, that is so, so important. So let's jump straight in, shall we? Let's jump straight in, because I didn't really have to care for anyone, but lucky for me. So I should let my children watch this because they're stuck with me. And
I've already told my son the rules. He's 25 and I told him what I want done already.
Yeah, no, so have I. I've told my children, they're like, Mom, really? I mean, we've got to start somewhere. We got to start this conversation somewhere. At least my wishes are known, and it may feel early, but it needs to be said.
No, Karen, it's not too early. And this is the big issue. So many people don't discuss this. And then it comes an emergency. Your aged loved one has that fall and you don't know what they want. You don't know what their finances look like. You don't know where their finances are. You don't know if they have an ACAT number. You don't know anything about their lives.
Yeah.
And if they are incapacitated, you don't have your power of attorney in place and you don't have your enduring guardianship in place. So then in those cases, the state can appoint a power of attorney.
Yeah.
It just gets messy. So get in early, have those conversations and review them when things change. We all come from blended families now.
Yeah.
Right? How many, what is it, 3 and 5 are divorced? So we all have sets. Before you used to have, a set of parents. Now there's 2 sets, if not 3 or 4. And so that brings with it a lot of responsibilities as well. Talk about it early. Get it. It's no shame and there's no blame in any of this. And there's no judgment. It's just about getting things in place before an emotional situation happens and you can't think straight.
Yeah, that's right. And people, a lot of the common thing when I talk to people about, you should put your will in place and all that, to them, it's like a jinx thing. Oh my God, if I say it's going to happen. People, make no mistake. You will die and things will happen. Your body will deteriorate. It is the way it is. So best that you just address it.
You walk across the street and hit by a car, heaven forbid, touch wood, all the rest. Let's not hope that happens. But it can happen.
Exactly.
And it's the worst thing. In my magazine, I do an article this week about power of attorneys and wills and so forth. And the lawyer I spoke to said to me, the worst thing she's ever had to deal with when a young person dies.
Oh.
Someone in their 20s.
Yeah.
They don't have a will. And then throw in the chaos of maybe divorced parents. So I've had a chat with my son about this. He's 25.
Wow.
Daddy, and get your stuff sorted now. He owns a property.
Wow. Yeah. Ooh, good on him. Well done.
Yeah, bit of help from mum and dad. It's okay. But one good thing that came out of the divorce. But his father and I are amicable. But what about if we weren't?
That's right.
You're so filled with grief, and sometimes your grief takes over your emotions and you don't think straight.
That's right.
And then there's this other situation, and my personal situation, why I'm sitting here today. My dad was 87 and he was in care. Mum had passed, and our eldest sister Marilyn was the only power of attorney. We had one power of attorney. We trusted Marilyn. Marilyn sold the earth, and she did everything. She was the matriarch after Mum passed. But Karen, one day she passed.
Oh,
unexpectedly. I spoke to her Thursday night. She was on the Gold Coast where my dad was, and I was in Canberra, and my other sister Yvonne's in Adelaide. I spoke to her on the phone Thursday night because Dad had had his treatment, and she was fine. Friday she went to work. She had a cold. Saturday my nephew rang me and told me she was on life support.
Wow.
It was in 2012, and no, it wasn't COVID.
Yeah.
But she had a bad cold. She coughed too many times and she became brain dead. So she was on life support for a week, our darling Marilyn. But, that week I should have been sitting by her bedside, holding her hand, brushing her hair. I wasn't. I was at the solicitors because we had one power of attorney.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell us where Dad's bank account was.
Yeah.
Dad was legally blind. He did not know where his money was.
Yeah.
And then they spelt my name wrong on the papers, so we had to go back and do it again.
Oh, no. No.
So this is what I'm saying. When an emotional thing happens,
Yes.
I know how to spell my name, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's my married name, but I do know how to spell it.
Yeah.
But I didn't read the documents properly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Then we had to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
And take my father back and get him to re-sign everything again.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So I tell everyone, have 2 or more power of attorney.
Yeah, these days they do, though. When we did ours, she made us choose 2.
And it's so important. A lot of people say, oh, no, it's only going to cause hassles. No.
It doesn't. You have your first choice and then your second choice.
Simple. And the same with your enduring guardianship. Now, it doesn't have to be the same person either that does both of them. They just have to know about each other.
That's right. That's right.
And it's so important because people, I'm telling you, that was the worst week of my life.
Yeah.
Not being able to be with my sister. We were creeping into the hospital bed at hospital ICU unit at 2 a.m. to sit with her.
Yeah.
Because we were running around trying to organise where Dad's money was so we can keep paying for his home care.
Yeah. That was, we had to do that during the office hours. Absolutely.
And Karen, she was only 57.
Oh, wow.
She was only 57.
Wow. Life can be, and it is very unpredictable, though. So we'll just go into the next part, which we've spoken about, the stress of caring for our loved ones at home, because they want to be at home. I mean, I want to go anywhere. So what is the dilemma facing, caring for your loved ones at home?
I feel that I can talk about this because my partner and I have built a granny flat at the back of his mother's house.
Yeah.
She's 95 and she has quite a few medical conditions, but we look after her because she wants to stay in her own home.
Yeah.
It's not easy, folks. It really isn't easy. We could get services in, but she's a stubborn Irish woman and she won't accept anyone to come in.
Sure.
So we do it all. Between Gary and I, we do it all. And it is really hard. We don't have a life because she needs 24/7 care. She will ring us at 3 o'clock in the morning to have a chat.
Oh, no.
Yes. But then there's some days she'll sleep all day. And then you're going up and you're shaking her. You know what we used to do when they're a baby, to shake them to see if they're breathing?
Yes.
That with her. But look, it's so much more than that. We take care of all her financial stuff. We take care of the house up there. I do all the shopping for her. We pay the bills. We do everything.
Yeah.
And also need to be on top of medical things.
Yeah.
She has a colostomy bag, and at times she is getting dementia, and at times she takes the bag off. And I'll let your imaginations run wild, and it would not be as wild as it is. So there's a physical, emotional, there's a spiritual side, there's a financial side to all of this. When you take on the caring role, know exactly what you're getting yourself in for. And then be brave enough when it is becoming overwhelming to put that hand up and ask for help.
Yeah.
And that's what carers don't do enough of.
Yeah.
They get so caught up in thinking they have to do it all that they forget that there are services out there. There are friends, there are family members that are willing to help.
Yeah. That is so important. You're so right. A lot of the carers don't know how to ask for help. They feel guilty for even asking or even thinking it.
I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here too, Karen.
Okay.
Because I know you don't mind a bit of controversy.
Oh, I don't.
Sometimes we've given up so much to do this caring role, because normally you'll have to give up work, and it's probably a good salary to go on the carer's pension, which isn't great. That's if you can get it. But you're giving up so much that you don't let other people in. Because I don't want to say you're playing the martyr. That's not what it is. It's about, this is your responsibility.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And it's not just kids caring for their aged loved ones. It's when partners are caring for their partners.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, I know of a case recently. I was talking to someone recently where a married couple for 30 odd years, she'd given up work, her career, to stay home and look after the kids. And then she became ill. So he was near retiring age. So he stayed home to look after her.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want help in that. I can manage, I can do it all. She did it all for you kids. So he didn't let the kids in to help.
Huh.
He got better at it.
Yeah.
It's about, she's my wife, I will look after her type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they think it's their responsibility. And look, I did the same when I became dad's carer after Marilyn passed. I had this, because Marilyn was great at everything. Marilyn just oozed everything wonderful. And so I felt I had these big shoes to fill. So I had to do it all myself.
Yes.
And I didn't let people in.
Yeah.
And when they kept asking and being told no,
Yeah.
they stopped asking.
Of course. Of course.
So friends of carers, don't stop asking. They really do need you.
Yeah.
Keep on asking. Even when they say no 100 times, think of another way to do it, even if it's taking them out for coffee. You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of mental pressure, and there's a lot of guilt when you're a carer.
Yeah. Yes, I can truly, appreciate that. I really do. What about, because you're talking about your dad being in aged care, and we were also talking about the guilt of putting your loved ones. I would hate to be in aged care.
I've got to tell you, Dad was in 2 aged care homes, one on the Gold Coast, and then I moved him to Canberra because that's where I was living.
Yeah.
And after Marilyn died, I was traveling every month up there to be with him, and it was just taking a toll on me financially.
Yeah.
And I was away from my teenage son, and I was working full time, and so much going on. Dad absolutely loved being in these aged care homes. He absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
He had 2 girlfriends.
Oh, hello.
He was 87 and he had a girlfriend that was 91 and one that was 94.
Nice.
He always loved the older women. Mum was older than him too.
Okay. All right.
He loved the Friday afternoon drink session where they had music and dancing. He loved, look, this was a good home. Okay, I'm not going to lie. He could afford to have a good, both homes were great.
Yeah.
The services were great. Down in Canberra, it was David Harper House at Wadiata there, and they were lovely. The staff were fantastic. No, it was not perfect, right? It was not perfect. Don't ever think that it was. But leaving him at home when he couldn't see either was not perfect.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's not.
Right.
Yeah.
He was getting better care there than he was giving himself than I could give him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the hardest thing to admit, that you can't care for them properly.
Mm.
He was socializing. He had friends. As I said, I've written a book about this, and it's one of the chapters talks about how much he changed. He was a very staunch German man, and you weren't allowed to eat al fresco. You weren't allowed to eat outside.
Yeah.
He had all these rules, and you weren't allowed to kiss in public. And then one day I went into the home to visit him, and all these women coming up and kissing him good morning, and some of them were kissing him on the lips.
Oh, well, hello.
and it wasn't that about mum. Mum didn't come into it, but my father had changed. The leopard had changed his spots, and that's a lot of emotion to deal with as well.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty that he was in a home and that I wasn't looking after him.
That's right. That was the guilt. Yeah.
But you know what? It worked for him and it worked for us. I look back now on that time.
Yeah.
And it really did. He did have a good time, much better than he would have had living at home with me.
Yeah, by himself. I appreciate that, but there are people who struggle with it because the parent don't want to be there. And every
Yes.
time I've heard of stories, every time they go there, say, when am I going to go home? I don't want to be here.
We put Maureen, Gary's mum, into respite because that's something I'm really strict on.
Yeah.
I need a break, right? I need to have
Good.
3 to
Good.
4 weeks off, and I don't go and visit.
Mm.
Right? I need that time.
Yeah.
And she packed her bag every single day.
Okay.
She packed everything up. She was walking around giving her clothes and things away to people because I'm going home tomorrow, so you can have this.
Oh no.
I had to go around and search. I still haven't got one of her shirts back and a pair of pants back. And they're all labeled. That's why they have to be labeled. Look, and this is part of the dementia thing as well. And
Yeah, if they go back to being a child, like I remember my kids, I had to buy those iron-on stuff so that you don't lose things in kinder.
You do have to do that.
Yeah.
And it's about making it right for them. It's about look, it's really difficult. Each person's different, right?
Yes.
Each person is really different. And you need to know your aged loved one well.
Yes, that's right.
You need to know them well. And you need to understand where the best place for them is. And if that best place is a home, an aged care home, you find the best one you can for them.
Yeah.
And that's caring for them as well.
Yeah.
Because if you were to leave them at home by themselves, they fall over. They get into all sorts of mischief. Are they eating properly? Are the bills being paid?
Yes.
If they live with you, your life is not the same.
That's right. That's right.
So you have to think of yourself too as a carer.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself first because you can't do all this without some help.
That's right. So that is a perfect segue to take us into the last part of the interview. Let's talk about how can carers take care of themselves when they're so busy being preoccupied trying to do everything for someone else. So where do they even start?
Well, first of all, I'd like to show you a little something if I can.
Yes, please.
All right. Stress happens for a number of reasons. Now, I always blamed my father's caring for me being so stressed, but it wasn't just Dad. Okay, the caring, I know you can see my rubber band. The caring was part of it, right? But I was working full time. My 30-year marriage was on the rocks. I was raising a teenage son. Now, by now, this is really stretched, right? I was really stretched. I was ready to snap. And are you feeling the tension? I'm feeling the tension. I know this is going to snap.
No! Oh my God. I can't believe you did that.
It snapped. I do this a lot. I've got lots of these broken things here. But the thing is, it could snap out and hit you. It could snap out and hit anyone. And that's what stress does to you. You become overwhelmed. But if you practice self-care, if you put some boundaries in place, if you make it your life sturdy, you can see yourself again. You don't lose yourself. You get to look after yourself so you can keep going and looking after others. And the biggest thing you need to do is put some boundaries in place.
Yeah.
Without boundaries, it won't work.
Yeah.
And you have to stick to them. Self-care is about you. Right? Some people like having a spa day. Some people like having a glass of wine. Some people like reading a book. Some people, look, the list goes on. It's whatever floats your boat, right? It's no use having a spa day because, everyone else says carers need a spa day when you don't want a spa day.
Yeah, I don't like spa days.
That isn't going to replenish your soul. That's isn't going to make your soul sing so that you can keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. You need to find what's your happy thing and do it often. Yeah. Find your passion. Is it a jigsaw puzzle? Now, you asked before, how do you do it? How do you make sure you do it? Schedule it every day, right? If you're having trouble finding space for yourself, schedule it. Make it a boundary. Make it that 15 minutes every day, you do something for you, and everyone in your inner circle knows that this is your time, that you give and give and give and give every other moment, but this space in time is you. It's you. And then keep doing it. Make it a commitment. Now, don't let anything else intrude in it. Don't make appointments around it. Make sure you do it. Tell your aged loved one about it. Let them know that this is going on at this time. And they'll, you know, look, something happens, an emergency happens. Yes. Okay. We get that. But if you do this for yourself every day, that's the first start.
Yeah. You know what jumped out at me during this whole conversation is the part when you mentioned that you put your, you know, your partner's mom whom you're caring for into respite so that you get a break. That is so important. But a lot of people feel so much guilt doing it, and they like, you know, it's so necessary.
He didn't do it. He looked after his mum for 12 years before I came on the scene.
Right? Oh, wow.
And he's
how did she feel about you putting that in place?
She's okay. She's just fine with it. She understands it because she saw how it affected him. She saw what it was doing to him.
Yeah.
And she gets it. We put it in place when her mind was there.
Yeah.
She's just used to it. She doesn't like it. She doesn't love it. And as I said, she packed a bag every day to come home. But and that's when you've got to stay strong. And this is the thing about, because that's a boundary, right? Putting her in respite. That's a boundary. Right. You can't cave in on it. Right?
That's right.
You've got to identify it, create it, communicate it, and commit to it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't commit to it, then everyone else won't commit to it.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it so much. So before we go, is there like some 3 things that a carer can do right now?
Right now, what you can do is look in the mirror, tell yourself you're worth it, and you deserve a break. You need this now, because if you don't do this now, you can't keep caring.
Yep.
Another thing is you don't know what you don't know. Find a great support network, whoever it is, to share their lived experiences with you.
Yeah.
Because you do not know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And there's so much out there that can help you to ease your journey.
Yeah.
And I think the third thing is caring's like being on a movie set.
Ooh.
So the story is the care itself. You are the star, baby, and you need to know that. You are the star. Without you, this show doesn't go on, right?
Yeah,
Without
absolutely.
You, the show doesn't go on. But you need your support actors. You need your green room, a place where you can go and relax.
Ooh.
You need your rider, which is a technical term for the list of things you want in your green room. Like Beyonce wants 100 white butterflies or something silly like that. Don't be asking for that. You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
But your rider is your 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Your favorite wine. A book every month to read. That's your have to haves.
Yeah.
But don't forget, the understudy wants to go at this too. So you need a break.
Yeah.
Because you can't keep doing this all. Because one day when you can't do this, the understudy is going to have to step in and take your place. Yeah. And how are they going to know how to do that if you haven't let them?
That's right.
And you're going to have a director. That's your support network that's going to give you advice and suggest how to do things.
Yeah.
And then you just know you're going to have some critics along the way, but that's okay. You just ignore the critics because they don't know anything at all. And you will win the award for being the best carer. And then you're going to have your wrap party. And that's really important because you have to celebrate your wins. Caring is really, really tough. So you need to celebrate the wins, be they small or large. Celebrate them and enjoy your wrap party.
Wow. I love this whole analogy, how you put it into like a whole movie thing. I love it. I love it so much. So, and I can hear the passion, you know, behind this, and you make it so interesting rather than it's all hard, oof, it's not, it's fun. You made it fun. You make it sound like, taking care of yourself is so fun. I absolutely love that analogy. So what Rita's going to do is she's going to drop her links so that you can find her, and pass along the information to any carer you think who might need help. They will all need help. So just pass it along. Just give it to them and say, you know what? I saw this interview. The lady in there was amazing, and you should get in touch.
Thank you so much. And look after yourselves, carers, because we need you.
That's it. So with that, we'll end this interview. Thank you, Rita, again for coming in for this interview. This has been an amazing talk, and hopefully this message gets out to more carers out there.
Thank you so much. Take care, Karen.
Bye,
Bye everyone.
Just